Do the snap,
clap.
yeah?
Yeah, clap. It's called a clap.
Do that. Oh, fuck. Fuck it up already.
And that is a take. Folks, welcome to another episode of Fitpod, where I bring you inspirational people with motivational stories. And today I've got a real treat for you. You know, I've not said this on any other episode, and I've been waiting for a real treat to come through. And today we have Freddie Aesthetic in the studio. Well, basically his name's not Fred the studio. I just call him that. So, yeah. So, Fred, how's it going, my friend? How are you? Thank you very much for coming, taking time out.
Not a problem.
How is it so far? How do you like the place, man? We've been talking about this episode for a while, haven't we?
Yeah, setup's crazy, man. About time I actually came and saw it.
You're happy with it?
Oh yeah, this is a mad setup.
Is it your level?
It's past my level. It's above what I was expecting.
Nice. So let's get straight into it. Let's talk about where have you come from? What's your story?
Ooh, where have I come from?
Not as in area, I know where you come from.
Yeah, you actually don't. It's not my natural area.
Oh, is it not?
No. Easiest way to describe it, I'm second oldest of 13 kids.
Wow.
I'm the second oldest of 13.
That's not normal in white families, bro.
Nah, everyone keeps going, your mum and dad Asian?
Yeah.
Well, absolutely not, but...
You're 13 siblings?
7 between my mum and dad, and then they had 3 each separate.
Oh, wicked.
So, yeah.
So you got 6 step brothers and sisters?
I got 9 brothers, 3 sisters.
Wow.
Well, no. 7 of us are all from one mum and dad.
Yeah.
And then the other 6 are separate.
Wow. You all get along?
Still... Yeah. We speak when we need to speak.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, you're not going to be...
The main one I get on with is probably my oldest brother and then the 2 just below me. Obviously, my first sister, she's got like 4 kids, so...
Wow, that's amazing. You know, it's just great to have big families, man, which a lot of people not...
It bloody isn't.
It is. I'm from a big family, and it's brilliant.
There's a big family, then there's a big family.
With big problems. Well, I hope there's no problems. There's always little issues here and there. You just got to deal with it, innit? It's just part of life. But yeah, your fitness journey. Tell us a bit about that, man. How did it start? Where did it start from? What kind of motivated you to get into it? Were you a big lad before, or have you just turned big right now?
Easiest way to describe it. I've always been short. Quite stocky, but it was never stocky as in like a good stocky. It was always in fat. That is the easiest way to describe it. When you're pushing 20 stones worth of body fat,
wow,
you don't understand how bad that is.
So were you big always? Or?
Thing is, I didn't look big because of my height. It was just piled in. Obviously, 5'6".
Yeah,
you didn't really know.
You've got your pros and cons.
I always wore baggy clothes as well, so you wouldn't see how big I actually was. But you know what it was? If I remember rightly, obviously, my oldest brother, Kieran, he was always into the gym and stuff since quite a young age.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Yeah, you mentioned it before.
You've trained with us before?
No,
I think.
haven't.
No, it was me, Ty, Greg and Kieran, sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, but obviously, he's always been a gym person. So it's just one day you wake up, look in the mirror, see a 20 stone fat git, and I just went, you know what, this has got to change. So dropped him a call, said, look, I need to start. I need to get rid of this. And then it took a while to get used to it. I was on and off for quite a few years. Obviously, you could never get that bug, if you, as they call it, the gym bug. You could never get that gym bug. Obviously, eventually I got that gym bug, and obviously COVID hit, so kind of gained everything, all the good work I did leading up to COVID. It just lost all motivation for training.
You started working at Aesthetic after COVID, didn't you?
After, yeah. Well, it was quite a bit after, to be fair, because I moved from Bristol Roadsides back over here, and then joined Aesthetics, and then it was a mad way that I started working for Wahid. Obviously,
Did you know him from before as well, or
No.
you just walked into the?
Basically, I was training there anyway, and obviously I disappeared for 2 months, and Wahid spotted that. Obviously, because the job I had at the time, that was obviously paying for the membership and everything,
Yeah.
I lost. So I had no source of income to like keep training. Wahid noticed that and gave me the shot at the gym. And if you go to aesthetics, you know what, the rest is history. It's like,
Yeah, that's you can't
I've
come
gone
back
from
out.
being just a weekend person to now being there every day. Pretty
You're
much
more like the
every
gym
hour of the
manager
day.
there now.
Yeah,
You know,
that's what they call me, the manager.
the manager.
Yeah, that's what they call me. It's
I
what
didn't know
Wahid's
that.
nicknamed me, the manager.
The manager. Yeah. Oh well, it's good to know. So I'm gonna start calling you the manager. Where's the manager go? That's nice. I like that. I like that. So tell us a bit about your journey. You know, we were talking about your martial arts and all
If
the
you
other.
go back to it, obviously, I was raised by my nan from a young age. So when I was 10, I ended up living with my nan. Obviously, so at that young age, she wanted us to be able to know how to defend ourselves.
Did you get bullied or anything in
Yeah.
school? Oh, did you?
I did.
Oh wow.
Obviously, learned all this. And lost my words. Went karate. Obviously, my nan took me there. Well, not took me because it was behind the house in a sense.
Was it
So-
with all the in school? All the bullying and stuff.
yeah, school.
Yeah. Horrible.
Ended up going karate and stuff, competing in quite a few like localish tournaments around Birmingham and stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
Won quite a few of them, and then I ended up doing this actual fighting in a national championships where I had placed third overall.
Wow.
For
In
someone-
nationals.
Yeah, that was fighting against how many years ago was that? I was like 15, 16, and I'm 36 now, so it's been like 20 years
Yeah.
since I did that. But I placed third, beating who was a member of the England squad back then for karate. I think it might have been the England junior squad, but it was still the England squad.
Yeah, it's still.
So
yeah.
it's still a big one to take. And then I beat him in the one round to get through, and then to semi-finals, and then got beat by England's number 1 junior. So
Oh, but
it's all
still
happens. But you know, it was a good experience. It actually,
How long did you do that for? And how did that help you from being bullied to kind of, okay, now you're this person who can fight?
if I'm being honest, it was in a sense of even while I was doing it, I was still getting bullied, I think. But as I got older, as I hit the age of like 16, 17, 18, and I matured a bit more, I realised that I can fight back, that you can actually
Do something about
do
it.
something about it and not just think, oh crap.
So didn't you like speak with your teachers or anything in school? Or?
There was a lot of it about that. Obviously, to in the end where I lost my rag in school and actually fought back once, and which made me actually leave school early
Really?
because I couldn't be there because it was just a big thing.
See, don't you think that the bully should have been kicked out?
No, obviously I was on the social services. They asked me what I wanted to do, so I got myself pulled out and got put into it was halfway through year 11, so I got put into a temporary college placement just to build up to do electrical engineering. So I never actually took any GCSEs because they wanted me to go back into the school to take them and sit in the hall with them all. I told them all, I'm not doing it because I'm not sitting in the hall with them. So the school couldn't make me. So yeah, I started off life with no qualifications and nothing.
And then you got into your karate. Your
No,
martial-
karate was wild.
Why are you doing that?
Well, bear in mind, when you take your GCSEs, you're practically 16.
Yeah.
So the karate was leading, still going on through that.
Didn't you ever think, oh, you know what? I'm going to use some of my tricks at the trade on these kids, man. Show
You
'em.
know what? It's you do it in a gym, and then when you do it outside of if you try it outside of the gym, it's so much different. You don't realise how different it is. You go into a competition which is a controlled environment. They're not there to physically hurt you. It's a controlled environment. It's a competition. It's so much different to doing it, say, on the street.
So all these people that show you self-defense on social media do this and do that. It's a lot of crap.
Thing is, it's like while you're in competition, you got time. You're looking at it. You're moving around a little bit. Yes, it's a bit fast-paced, but you've half got a split second to think of what you're gonna do. If you get into a fight on the street, there's no split second to think of what you got to do. You've just got to defend yourself
And get out of there.
So there's no split second. And obviously, you got a ref there in a competition. It's a lot different to being in a fight in real life.
True.
So when you got a ref there, and obviously, and your hands are padded, your feet are padded, obviously throwing kicks and stuff. So it's not like skin on skin, real
True.
proper fighting. It's such a different atmosphere because you don't realise until you've been in that situation, like fighting a competition and then fighting real life. It's so much different. Obviously, it probably worked the same for boxers as well, because you think boxers, if they get into a fight in real life, it's so much different because you ain't got time to keep a stance and all that stuff.
Yeah.
If so, you know someone's gonna try and hurt you.
Simple.
Hit before be hit or something like that.
Yeah, that's true. And then what happened after that? Then so you've had your GCSE, whatever. What was the next step in your life? So you know what?
I actually went on to college and started doing electrical engineering.
Okay.
Obviously, it was at the old Matthew Bolton
hell.
or Pershaw Road. Actually, last year that big one was open in Pershaw.
That was the same year I went there, and the year after that it closed down.
Yeah, basically, I was in the last year of that college.
Same.
Yeah.
Because we're both what? I'm 38.
I'm 36.
So
Well,
yeah.
I'm almost 36, I should say.
So basically, we were at that college at the same time.
What we didn't realise that year, if we think about it,
don't ask me dates, man. I ain't got a clue.
I know it would have been around about 2005, 2006-ish, about that time.
Yeah, it was about that time.
It was about that time.
I was in graphic design department.
I was in the electrical part, in the down in the slums, in the freaking factory part at the bottom.
I think it was a new build area.
Obviously, because you had the main tower block in the centre, then you had the one that was over the road, the second part of the building as well.
We were in the main block, but towards the design side of it. I think electrical, yours and ours was...
We had a classroom on the left, as you go through, you got the lifts there. We had a classroom there for all our theory work, and then we were going down into the workshops as well to the right.
It was towards the right.
There's some workshops on the right of it, past the canteen and stuff, if I remember rightly. There was like workshops there that we were in.
We had to go further down. So past yours.
Oh yeah.
I do remember seeing a fat guy, but I didn't know it was you.
I weren't that fat back then. I actually weren't fat back then. I was actually a decent build back then. I actually weren't fat.
So when did you become fat?
When I started working for fucking Weatherspoons.
Right, Weatherspoons.
Yeah. That's a whole
after
different
that,
freaking story.
you did what was it, rugby?
I did play a bit of rugby,
What's with that? Now you look like a rugby player. now it's all coming together.
Bald head, the stockiness.
Yeah, now it's all coming together.
Yeah, I enjoy playing rugby. Played with one of my brother that's just younger than me. Obviously, I think it was Kitts Green he lived in. Obviously, but I stopped playing due to injury.
What injury did you have?
Knee injury.
Oh, bloody hell, you've just injured yourself again.
Oh, that's a quad injury. That's different.
Oh god.
I blame Wahid for that one. He pushed me too far on Friday, and my leg's just gone.
So what's going to happen now? You're just gonna wait. Just gonna wait till it's recovered now.
It'll be fine. I'll train legs again probably Friday.
Nah,
put more punishment on it.
No, you can't. It's gonna get worse.
Nah, you know what? We first suspected a bit of a tear, but it's starting to loosen up a little bit and starting to die off. So,
that's good.
I think if I go light, more reps, I should be fine. No lunges this time.
One thing I can't stand is lunges. People.
Walking lunges. That I can lunge all day long. Normally static standing lunges, I'll do all day long. Don't let me do walking lunges. I always seem to get injured with walking lunges.
It's horrible. Lunges just... I just don't like.
They're not the best exercise in the world, are they? They're effective, but they're not great.
I know. They're probably they're very effective, but.
Oh yeah.
So, what advice would you give somebody who's in school and who's getting bullied? Because nowadays it's happening a lot. I feel.
Yeah, I see a lot through different people that I know says, "Oh, the kid's getting bullied. How did you deal with yours?" Obviously, half me says I would say hit them back. 9 out of 10 times you hit a bully back, they probably won't come back if you can catch them good and they realise, oh, this person's not easy to bully.
Yeah.
But obviously the sensible route to tell people is go speak to teachers.
But they don't do anything.
But that's what I'm saying. That's the sensible route to take. But in my head now, I'm saying if someone's willing to hit you, hit them back and see how they like it.
Yeah. My advice would be, don't be the first one to throw the punch.
Let them throw one, and
but
then
make
defend
sure
yourself.
you're the last person to throw the punch. Do you know what I mean?
There was a saying back then. If they hit you, make sure you hit them harder, or something like that.
You know, because
obviously you don't condone hitting people, but if they're putting all the time and effort into bullying you and making you feel like crap, then people deserve a smack.
Oh yeah, 100%. What kind of bullying was it? Was it like physical or emotional?
I got jumped by about 10 lads.
Oh bloody hell!
In year 11.
Seriously.
Cornered in the corridor and got jumped.
So what was the outcome out of for them? What did they get?
I don't know what happened. I only walked away with a black eye, luckily, because I got one smack to the face, and then I sort of like dropped myself down. And as they were all trying to kick me, I managed to get away and outpace them down the corridors, just to get away.
So what did the teachers do in that sense? Like,
you see, the social services at the time that I was with dealt with a lot of that. Obviously, because I wouldn't go in and speak to them. Obviously, the police came. Obviously, it was different back then. The police would actually come out for that sort of stuff properly. Obviously, and because there was physical injury as well. Obviously, it might have only been a black eye, but it was still an injury.
Yeah.
So, the police actually did more back then.
They don't do much now, or
I don't know, because I've not actually seen police called into places for bullying anymore. I think they try to sort it out in school and with the parents. But obviously, there's so many different forms of bullying that you could probably not see any physical damage to someone, but you don't see emotional damage.
Yeah, emotional.
Thing is, it's also the fact of, with that sort of bullying, even if you see the physical, you think, oh, they'd be all right. You don't know what that person went through emotionally afterwards. Obviously, because it came to I'm not going to sit here and pretend I weren't emotionally damaged by it. Because obviously, I still kind of lived in the area where the school was, my senior school. So I still had to walk around that area and go about stuff, knowing that they could be around that area.
It's not the way of...
That makes
it worse.
A kid that's 15, 16 years old and knows he's just been jumped by 10 lads and they're all sort of around that area. You're looking over your shoulder every 5 seconds while you're out. Even if you're with people, you're looking over your shoulder.
Yeah, because they'll laugh at you, or that look that they might not even say anything, but they'll just kind of give you that look. You think, oh shit, no, why?
You just don't know when something else will happen at that age. Obviously, but as I grow older, I've just realised it's like, you know what, it's time to actually hit back for once.
And then what?
Well, obviously, against the 10 lads, I ain't doing much on my own.
Yeah,
not back then.
Yeah,
obviously, it's a bit of a different story.
Do anything if it's 10 lads, no matter how big or strong you are. 10 lads are 10 lads. There's 10 lads and what?
You'd have
20
to be
legs.
Jet Li or Jackie Chan or something to do something like that. I'm telling you.
Exactly. It's either it's 10 lads, 20 arms and 20 legs coming at you, so you can't do much.
It's a difference. People say it's like you should still try to hit before they hit. It's like, it could have been worse on me.
Yeah.
It might not have, but you don't know.
like you're gonna hit one person and then
Yeah.
you've got 9 others to deal with.
Funny story, coach, of it, because 2 of the lads that were there that day, I've actually already caught up to in the past.
Have you?
Oh yeah.
Nice. How did
I
that?
gave them both black eyes.
How did that feel?
Oh, that felt good. Both of them didn't recognise me. I caught them both separately. Said to one of them, "Do you know who I am?" He went, "No." Sucked him one in the eye. I was like, "Do you know who I am now?" I was like, "College High," and that's all I said. And they looked at me, and his face was horrid.
It's just horrible. I just don't understand why people do stuff like this, like bully people and stuff. I just don't
You know what it is? You see it in schools. You see it in anywhere you go. Obviously, particularly in schools, you get the groups that hang around together. Obviously, in different countries, you got them known as other things. But obviously, in places like America, you got them known as the jocks. You got the nerds and all that stuff. So you get the different groups that hang around. Obviously, the more sportier lads, the lads that think they're high almighty, they're the ones that, I don't say they're the ones that tend to bully, because it's not everyone that does that sort of stuff are the bullies. But you get the 1 or 2 in that group that will be. But then because no one else, their friends don't want to see chicken, they follow along with them.
True.
But you do see it a lot. It's just groups in schools that will do that.
Yeah. It's true. It's true. I mean, that's how it works. It's usually 1 or 2 people.
And to be honest,
everyone will follow.
we're speaking about the lads, obviously saying it's predominant lads, but some of the girls are worse.
Really?
Mate, I've seen stuff on Facebook where it's a group of girls all picking on one, and there's no reason to. It's just because she looks different or something, or has got a bit of body weight on her. Some of the girls can be more savage than the blokes.
That's true, you know.
Thing is, it's not specific to one gender. It's specific to both. It's like you got bullies in either all genders. It's just like there's one thing I really do not condone is bullying, because I've been there, I've felt it, I know what scars it leaves. I really don't like it, because it does leave scars.
Of course it does.
And you don't realise how much them scars affect you later on in life when you see it happening. So if you got your own kid, if your kid gets bullied and you remember how it was for you, you know what your child's going through.
Yeah.
So
that's what my kid's getting into the gym. As soon as he starts walking, he's coming to the gym.
Oh yeah, in the ring with Wahid, getting boxing.
Not that soon. Maybe I'll wait a couple of years.
Yeah, a couple of years. But obviously, having some form of training like that behind
him,
it's got to be a good idea.
100%.
Because obviously, that's what I've said. When I eventually have a kid, he's going to learn how to throw a punch from a young age and how to defend himself. Or she, doesn't matter what it is, they've got to know how to defend themselves, but they're going to know how to do it in the right way.
Yeah.
Not walk around going, I know boxing, I can knock you all out.
Smack in the face. Then that becomes, then would become
the bully.
The bully, yeah.
They've got to know how
they're going to have
to use what they've got.
Discipline, yeah. They're going to have the self-discipline to not to make the first move.
Yeah. If they're getting bullied, and I say this all the time, if you're getting bullied, speak to someone first.
Yeah.
If it carries on and no words have been had,
get your back covered first.
Then you can keep going and going and going, and if nothing happens, then if they come across to you like they're gonna do something, then hit them.
Yeah.
And when they run to the teachers and complain you've hit them, then you can then go to the teacher and say, well, I've spoke to you about this time and time again. Nothing was done, so I took the matter into my own hand.
Exactly. So at least your back is covered.
You got to cover your own back with it.
Yeah.
Obviously, because you don't want to just think, this person's bullying me, smack, and then you get in trouble without saying a word first.
What would you do if your little one did that and you smacked him and he thought that he was going to bully him? What would you do and you've been called in to school, say, look, your child's just hit someone, and he thought he was being bullied?
I'd actually sit him down and actually speak to him properly about it, because fly off the handle at him, you don't know how the child's going to react, how that's going to, well, my dad won't believe me and all this stuff. But you've got to actually speak to him. There's no point flying off the handle at the child until you get to know what the story
But
is.
wouldn't you feel proud deep down inside? Yes.
So Adrian, if my child had been telling the teachers constantly and then battered the lad, I'd be taking him out to buy a new game or something. As soon as I left, I wouldn't even hide my this happiness in the school. I go, so they were bullying you? And I go, yeah. It's like, how many times did you tell the teachers? Several. What did you do? Smacked him up. I was like, good lad, let's go get something. Because
that's exactly
if he's been
what
telling
I
the
do.
teachers, then it's their fault. If you think
for
about
not
it.
doing anything.
If they're not doing anything and these kids are completely not listening and the parents know about it, to be honest, there'll be a part of me that will want to go bully the parents.
Yeah.
To go, your son thinks it's all right to bully my son. I'm going to bully you, see how you like it.
Yeah.
That's not the way to go about it, but I've seen
Deep down
some people
inside.
say, I'd love to do that.
Yeah.
But then obviously because of the adultness, you're going to get arrested.
Yeah.
And that's not a good look for your son then.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, I would be like proper chuffed deep down inside.
If he
like,
was proper getting bullied and it had all been said and then he smacked crap out of him, mate, he'd have whatever freaking food he wanted on the night or whatever game he wanted.
Yeah.
But he'd still understand.
You
just
can't do
'cause
that.
this is a treat because you stood up for yourself.
Yeah.
It's still not all right to hit people
yes.
unless you need to hit them.
Yeah. Like I says, don't be the first one to hit them.
Don't be the
but
first
make
one to
sure
hit.
you're the last
if
one.
they start it, you finish it.
Yeah.
That's the saying I was looking for. If they start it, you finish it.
That's it. That's the way forward. You know, and tell me a bit about your rugby. Because there were a couple of topics that were mentioned to me earlier this morning. So we got to talk about these.
Oh, they're always mentioning topics in the gym.
Your martial arts, your rugby, your fitness, and then where did darts come from? Like out of all of those combat sports, your combat sports,
The darts is
and then
funny.
boom, darts.
The darts is a weird one.
So we're
But
gonna
obviously,
go to your
start on
rugby, your fitness, and then how like it's just going downhill. Like, is there like some kind of a catch?
Look, injury fueled. Injury fueled. I can't play contact sports no more as well. All right. Rugby was because one of them, obviously, like I said, the brother younger than me wanted to start playing, and there was a club that not far from him that were looking for a few players.
Yeah.
So I thought it'd be a laugh. Never played rugby. Never watched rugby to that point. So I thought it'd be a laugh. So went down. We watched the first game, obviously, because
You want to see what's going on?
yeah. Started training with him on a Thursday night. I noticed I had a bit of speed on me. Still a bit of stockiness. Weren't fat, but I had a bit of stockiness on me. I've always had it, but obviously they said, is your brother going to join as well? Obviously, because I was just having one training session with him. So we joined and ended up playing quite a few games for him. And I just started enjoying it so much. Started learning more about the game.
Is the American football different to rugby?
A hell of a lot different.
Really? I mean,
Yes.
it looks the same.
It's a hell of a lot different. Rugby, you don't wear pads or a helmet.
Yes, you don't.
Rugby's full on, skin on skin, bone on bone.
It must hurt, you know. Does it hurt?
Oh yeah. You get a freaking 6'2" man that weighs like about 20 stone tackling you, full pelt, running at you. It hurts. But that's the difference. That's why rugby players are all big lads.
Yeah, like you.
Thing is, there is a saying from rugby players that is said that American footballers don't make good rugby players, but rugby players can make great American football players.
Yeah.
Because you think of how much padding them American footballers wear.
Yeah.
Yes, the hits are hard. Don't get me wrong, American football hits are hard, but they are padded. But the rugby hits, I've seen,
This direct.
it's just direct skin on skin, man. It's just, do you know where American football actually came from?
No.
This is-
Educate me.
It was actually comprised of rugby and football. Someone took
Okay.
rugby and football and made them together to make American football.
And they forgot that you use your legs for football. But yeah, okay, cool.
And they call it soccer. You don't kick with a sock, you kick with a football boot.
I know.
Yeah, but obviously,
got that
if you read on the
twisted.
internet, somewhat, I can't remember the exact dates or anything, but American football was comprised of football and rugby put together.
I understand the rugby part.
The rugby part, the tackling from rugby.
Yeah, all of that.
All
But
the passing
where
and
did the
stuff from
football-
rugby. I don't know, But that's what was said. That's what, when I researched it, because I was actually having an argument with an American when I found this out. Them going on about American football, obviously it's the original sport, they own the name. I was like, no, you don't, mate. It's like football was created
Americans have
way
to
before
get
American
everything that-
football.
yeah.
And it's not the FIFA Soccer World Cup, it's a FIFA Football World Cup.
Yeah.
It's been football all through
It's football
life.
you play with your feet.
Exactly. The only time you handle it, and that's the keeper that
Well, which
handles with his
understand it, yeah.
hands, but that's to make saves. The only time in American football you actually kick the ball is when you punt it forward with your foot. Same as in rugby, you punt it forward with your foot, or you hit it hard and you blast it forward. But American footballers don't really punt; they throw forwards. Rugby, you're not allowed to throw forwards. You can only
No,
kick
yeah.
forwards.
Oh, you can only kick forward.
Yeah.
But you have to pass backwards, isn't
It's
it?
sideways or backwards. There can be no forward movement to the ball as you pass.
Wow. It's quite tough,
If there's
you
a
know.
forward
when you-
movement to the rugby ball as it's moving, it's disallowed.
That's mad, you know.
So if you're running through for a try, I nearly said touchdown. It's not a touchdown. It's a try. If you're running through for a try and that ball's gone forwards a little bit, your try will be wiped off.
So what's a try?
If you ever watched a game of rugby,
I have, but
through
not.
the notions where the rugby posts are at the end,
Yep.
you got the line.
Yeah.
Obviously, that area there is known as it's a try zone. Obviously, in American football, same principle. They call it the end zone.
Right. Okay. I
So
understand.
the goal is to get past
that.
the opposite team's defense,
Yep.
and you got to get over that line. But
Mm-hmm.
the ball has to be under your control when you pop it down.
Yep.
So if you've gone over and your hands are not fully on the ball, and you've not got it under control, it don't count as a try. It has to actually be handled
What about it's
under
just one hand?
control. To be fair, I think as one hand's fine as long as you've got full grip and control
Right,
on it.
okay,
As long
okay,
as your
okay.
hand's fully on the ball,
Yeah.
because you could reach over. As long as you're going down and reach over and pop it down with one hand, but you've got to make sure it's under your control.
Got ya.
If it's not under control, it don't count.
Got ya. Coach Fred.
It's a difficult game to get into.
It is, you know. I mean, all you see is just lads.
Smashing into each other, and you think, "What the hell is going on here?" You know what? It's a difficult game to get into, but once you get into it, you realise how much of a good game it actually is to play. You probably watch it thinking, "That's too rough. I couldn't play that."
Yeah.
When you actually play it, you don't get tackled 24/7
But
on it.
that
You're
one
not constantly
tackle.
getting bang, bang.
Yeah, but that one tackle is.
yeah, it's gotta hurt.
Yeah, it's like nah. I'm all right. Okay. That's so that try. Is it try? Yeah.
Yeah,
so
it's a
tries
try.
you have to get over the line.
You have to get over the line past the goalpost.
within
But
the-
straight after a try, you get what's called a conversion. Obviously, from where that try started, so where the play actually started for that try,
Yeah.
you go so far back, I can't remember the actual distance, and that's where you put the ball on, and you've got to kick it between the top of the goalposts. So you get the
is that
normal
what the
square at
kick
the
is?
bottom where you can run through, but then where the bar is, the two single line posts that go up, you got to get it through there for conversion. Penalty kicks, if you kick for goal, has to go through them posts. If it goes wider than two posts, don't count. There's few different methods for scoring. Obviously, you got your penalty drop goal. You can kick from the field into the post, which count, and then you obviously got your conversion kick as well.
Bloody hell. I guess that's where they get the
England
football.
are known for scoring, let's just say, penalty drop goals.
Really?
They did it in the recent Rugby World Cup. I can't remember who it was against, but they won the game basically by scoring more goals from open play, from through kicking.
Well, I think they should start playing football then. We might get
Well,
somewhere.
no, because you have to get it high.
we might.
Basically, if you've ever seen a football player and they shout windows, they'll be better at playing rugby than football.
Harry Kane, mate.
Harry Kane does score a lot of goals, so let's be honest.
No offense.
He's
No.
in Germany now. He's all right.
Yeah, he won't listen to this.
You never
So
know.
tell us a bit about your fitness. How did that come about?
You want to know the darts story
No,
first?
that's gonna. Is that first or is that
Darts came way before fitness.
okay? So
Darts
after
came way
rugby,
before fitness.
after rugby, then it's
Well, obviously,
it's a very different sport.
football was football. I played
everyone
football,
plays football,
throughout
yeah.
my childhood and everything.
Yeah.
So football's football.
Yeah.
Everyone plays football. This darts one's a mad one, and this is actually where the nickname Freddie come from as well.
Right. Okay.
So I've showed you the picture of when I first started. Roughly when I started training, I had the white t-shirt on with long red hair.
Yes, I recall something. Yes,
It is on my Instagram. Obviously, the split post of where I've got kind of what I look like now, and then what I used to look like.
Right. Okay.
But yeah, my brother Will, who's the brother that's just younger than me, he was actually playing darts. Obviously, as a kid, I knew what darts was. We had a dartboard up in my bedroom. I was always throwing darts at it,
Yeah.
just for fun.
Yeah.
Never thought I'd ever play the actual game. My brother Will was playing at a pub called the Royal Oak, not too far from where you are now. It's only down by Erdington train station way.
Okay. Yeah.
But because I was living with him at the time, he said, "Do you want to just come down and watch the game?" I was like, "Why not?
Yeah.
Got nothing else to do. Go down, have a few beers. Don't drink no more, which is good." And I walked in, and obviously the captain of the team back then, a guy called Mickey.
You know your mic. Just push it that way. Yeah. Yeah. That's fine.
Yeah, fine. Yeah, a guy called Mickey Kenny, who actually plays for the team I play for on a Wednesday, but doesn't really play anymore. Only plays if it's needed. I don't know if you could picture me with a bright red mohawk.
I can. Yeah.
You probably could, but most
I
wouldn't because it's kind of gone. But obviously, if you know football, you probably remember a player called Freddie Lundberg.
No. I recently
Played for
got into
Arsenal back
I
in
re-
the
no.
90s. Played for
Oh, no,
Arsenal
no, no, no.
basically. 90s, late 90s, early 2000. Played for Arsenal. Obviously, this captain was a massive Arsenal fan. I've walked in, didn't even ask my name. He saw the red mohawk and went, "Freddie Lundberg." Freddie
it.
stuck from there on in.
Oh shit.
From that one day of just walking into a pub, Freddie stuck. And that's all I was ever known by in darts. That's all I'm ever known by in darts. My own brother calls me Fred. That's how much he's heard me call it. Yeah, but obviously, I weren't there to play.
So what's your real name again? You told me.
It's Mark.
Mark. Ladies and gentlemen, it's not Fred in the studio today. It's Mark.
Fred, Mark. I technically answer to both. But I answer to Fred more than I
You know what?
actually answer to Mark.
Mark does not suit you anymore.
I know. He's just Fred
It's
now.
Fred.
So
Fred.
everything I do, Instagram, everything is just Fred.
That's just so strange.
It's
It's just weird.
Off
I can't
one
see
day
you as
of
Mark.
walking into a pub, I
can't
got
see
called
you as
Fred,
Mark.
and it's stuck.
I cannot see you as Mark, bro. It would be weird, you know, if someone came into the gym and said, "Where's Mark?" Everyone would be like,
They'd
huh?
be think Big Marky.
Like, no.
They'd think Big Mark. They
Yeah,
wouldn't think
yeah.
of me. They'd think of Big Mark.
Yeah.
Yeah, but obviously, I went down there, no intention of playing. I only went down there to have a couple of drinks, watch my brother play.
Yeah.
And then obviously the captain was like, "We need one more player tonight." I was like, "Well, I can't play darts. I've never thrown a dart in my life." I basically haven't. Messing around in the bedroom.
Yeah,
that's not
different.
really throwing a dart. And so he's like, "See how you feel." I was like, "Because we need a player for the doubles because we've got to use 4 separate players."
Okay.
So he put all his main team in. Then
The leftovers. Come
and
on. then.
basically, they signed me up there and then because the league chairman was only over the road in the other pub there, the Red Lion. So I ran over, got a card, written my name on it. And he actually, from that day, put Fred on the first
Oh,
card.
for God's sake.
Literally. Because he never asked my real name. He called me Freddie Lundberg from the start. And obviously he knew my brother, and he knew my surname was Naylor. So he straight away just put Fred Naylor. So it just stuck from there on in.
Brilliant.
Obviously,
Brilliant.
he signed me up there and then. And I played in the doubles. It was like, so bad. So bad. But I enjoyed that night. So I went back the following week. A shocking player at the time, obviously.
Yeah, it was your first time, bro.
Living at my brother's, I then started practicing, finding setups that suited me for darts, finding darts that suited me. In darts, obviously, everything matters. The size of your point, the size of your barrel, the width, the weight, the length, the grip. Everything matters.
Yeah, it doesn't sound like you're talking about darts, but yeah.
You got to find the right setup that suits you, suits your throw. Everyone's got a different setup. You won't see one person with the two same setups. If you do, it's like, okay, they've just brought them off a shelf and set them up. But if
So
people
what's the setup?
I wish I had my dart on me now, but obviously where you got your main dart, your barrels that you get,
the barrel, and then you got the dart
got the points on. You can change the points, so you can have them longer, you can have them shorter, you can have them with certain grip on, and obviously the barrels, which are all 90% all made of tungsten. You get different weights, sizes, lengths, thicknesses, and all that stuff. And some of them, the weight's more front base, or it's all level, or it's more rear base. Then you get your style of flights and stems as well, which can be all different sizes and shapes. So it's just about working out, finding out what suits for you. It's like, I can't think of another sport. It's like, I can't really think of another sport which you think of that, really. But obviously, it's like when you're training as well, in the gym. You know what wraps suit you, what style, if you're going to wrap round or use sleeves, what form.
It's like more personalised kind of dart,
Everyone's got their own particular setup which they like to use, obviously.
Got ya.
So it's what you feel comfortable throwing. Obviously your stance as well. Everyone stands different, different places on the hockey. It's just like different stances.
See, when we were playing, and I went...
halfway across the gym, Nash, yeah? Was it you that got it in the beam on the roof?
No, that was Ty.
That was Ty.
And the beam's there, and he just went smack straight up. It's like, how bad can you do that? How bad do you have to be?
And you wondered why I wouldn't let you throw my darts that day with what you were doing.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, of course. Now I understand. Now I understand. But yeah, that was halfway through down the gym. I just went...
I've just brought a new setup as well. I had them delivered today. I just set them up in the house for tonight.
Nice. So yeah, you were saying... So...
Yeah, obviously the stance, everything's different.
Following week you went and you enjoyed it?
Yeah. So I just kept on going and going and going. I just started end up playing regularly, week in, week out.
So do you play nationally now or...?
Nah, I'm a pub player. I reckon I could get better, but the amount of time and effort that the professionals actually put in, they practice 6 hours a day on a board. Per their contracts with their sponsors, they have to practice 6 hours a day at least on a board. I'm not sure if that's the right time scale for them, but they're on the board for hours a day practicing. Just to make sure they've got the right setups right, make sure their arms are flowing, there's no niggles, injuries or something.
What injury are you going to get throwing a dart?
You can actually get issues with shoulders, your hands, because there is a thing called dartitis. It's like, as you go to throw, your fingers will physically not release the dart.
Really?
And it's very common in darts.
Oh,
if you research dartitis...
What's it called?
Dartitis. It's obviously one of the lads I play with on the Tuesday nights got it. And obviously, as he goes to throw, he does that, and you can't release the dart.
Whoa.
It's like... you can play through it, but it is really hard. I don't know if you've ever heard of a player called Eric Bristow.
No.
Very famous player. You've heard of Phil Taylor, yeah?
No.
Okay.
I'm not a big darts fan.
Yeah.
I just know how to throw a dart.
So obviously some people that watch this may know who Eric Bristow is, but he suffered with dartitis, and he was playing in the World Championships with dartitis, and he was still winning. So there is ways you can play through it and learn how to cope with it.
Wow.
But
so it's like a tennis elbow.
In a sense, yeah.
Elbow.
obviously with the tennis elbow, you just can't swing properly. But with dartitis, you physically can't release the dart. Obviously, there's
That's strange. I've never ever heard of that.
research it,
Never ever.
and you'll
I've
see
always
the
thought,
way people can't release. Obviously, I know quite a few people that have got it.
that's mad.
Like, I think you can get through it, and obviously it can go after a while, but it is something that's really hard to get rid of. It's like the mental block in the gym as well. And you think you can't get a certain weight up.
That's
you
me.
can.
That's me on flipping every week, bro. Fred.
Get here. No. What is it? Fred, can I borrow ya?
Yeah, that's the one.
And my answer's normally, no.
Not here.
I usually try running away.
I'm not here.
I always come over and make sure you're safe.
I know.
And make sure you do your freaking reps.
I know. But yeah. So wow, I didn't know there was a darts injury. You know, never thought.
Obviously, there's been times where Michael van Gerwen, the top player in the world at the moment, has pulled his shoulder and has not been able to play. Obviously, because they're practicing so much, you don't realise how much pressure it is on that arm.
So can
as
you
well.
throw with both hands? Both arms.
If I tried to throw my left arm, if I tried to throw a dart now with my left arm, it would be out that window. But I'm so bad with my left arm.
So you're right.
Obviously, more dominant hands, the better one. You get some people that, I can't remember what the correct term is, that can use both hands. Well, I've seen people that can throw just as good with the right as they can with the left.
Wow.
Because they can use both hands the same.
See, when I throw, I'm left hand.
Yeah, it's normally a more dominant hand that you throw with.
Yeah, left hand for me. So, tell me, so what's the future with darts then? You wanna stick with being a pub player or?
Yeah, I'm not one to go on stage. Obviously, I'm an okay player. I'm a good player for the pub. I'm a good player for pub leagues.
Have you won any trophies and stuff?
I've got loads at home.
Have you?
Yeah.
And does it say Fred on them or does it say Mark?
They vary. Some say M Naylor or Mark Naylor. Some say Fred Naylor. Quite a lot of them say Fred more than anything.
That's hilarious.
I have.
You try explain that to your children. That's me, Fred Naylor.
But that's me, Mark Naylor.
Like, huh?
It's a weird one, to be fair, but it's just like, but you got to think of it. I got called this name, and then once I went round these pubs, and I was like, because they'd never seen me before. Half of these lads in these pubs, I was being introduced as Fred by the captain to everybody, which then my brother took it on and started introducing me as Fred.
Oh my God. As Mark, you mean?
No, my own brother was introducing me as Fred to everyone at darts.
That's insane.
So
it's
just a name that stuck. Obviously, when I first signed up to the gym, I signed up under my real name. But then when I think he took my Instagram off me, and he was like, "Who's Fred?" I was like, "It's my nickname," and he was like. I think he said something along the lines, I prefer that to Mark, actually. We've got too many Marks here. I'm going to call you Fred from now on, and it's just stuck at the gym since then.
Oh, God, absolutely hilarious, you know.
Literally, the only people that call me Mark, obviously my mum, my dad, my sister and her kids, and my other family members. Only my family call me by my real name. That's literally it.
That's funny, that is.
But the one family member, my brother Will, actually calls me Fred. Don't call me Mark. I don't think it's called me Mark in about 5 or so years.
Wow. Since you started playing darts.
Well, I know I've been playing darts since probably about 2012.
Wow.
So it's been a good few years.
Yeah,
Obviously, you take COVID and everything out. And at first, I weren't the great player, so I weren't really playing. I was just there as an extra, and then playing in the doubles. So it weren't really like, I still got my skill up a little bit and got used to it. And I've been around quite a few leagues, to be fair, and played some decent level players.
Oh, yeah.
I've played some ex-players that have been on circuits. I've played against quite a lot of good players. But my brother Will's the one for darts.
Really?
If he had this, if I had his talent, I've got the mental capacity to actually do something with it, where he kind of hasn't. I've always said to him, look, if you had my drive to do something with your talent, you'd be on TV by now. Because he's beaten professionals that actually play the game for their job.
Yeah.
You won't know any of them, but he's beat someone called Richie George, whose dad's a very old famous dart player called Bobby George. He's beat Tony O'Shea. So my brother's beat some good players.
Wow.
And if he had the same drive that I've got to succeed in something, he'd be actually on stage by now and he'd be playing in these big tournaments. The drive let him down. But
That's
he's
a shame,
such a
you know.
quality player.
Really?
Absolute.
That's a shame, you know, because there's a lot of people out there like that.
Yeah.
You know, in different
You know
sport.
what? If you ever watch the darts on the TV, half of that crowd that are sitting there watching it probably don't even play darts, but for a sport to watch, they love it for the entertainment value.
I watch darts as well.
Yeah.
You know, when it's on TV, if it's on and I've managed to kind of skip through it, I'll go back and watch it.
I was watching
because it is quite interesting.
Sunday there was darts on. I can't remember what it was. It was one of the televised tournaments. Weren't one of the bigger ones, but I was kind of flicking in between the darts and playing the new Spider-Man game. Obviously, so every time I dropped off to check my phone, I'd switch over to the darts just to see how the darts was getting on. And I just left Peter Wright versus Danny Noppert's game on. Obviously, but
it
then,
is fun, you know. I like watching darts. It's
you know
fun.
what? It's fun to play as well. If you're just messing around on the board with your friends, it's really
wicked.
fun to play. But when you get into the game aspect of it, once you're actually playing,
So you have to go downwards. Whoever gets to zero first, isn't it? Is it from
there's
500 or?
There's a few different games you can play. 90% of the time, your pub leagues are 301, which is double
301.
start, double finish. So you got to hit one of the outer ones first, which is your double, and then you got to get down and then finish on a double. But you do get, obviously, you got Super League, and you got County, which is Super League's not as good as County, but you have to play Super League to get picked for the county side. So my brother actually plays for Warwickshire County, and he travels up and down the country. I think it's once a month, playing the best players. Well, plays one of the best players from that
county.
other county. So say like,
He's a county player, basically.
yeah, he's a.
That's
I think he's unbeaten as well so far this season in county. I have to double check that, but he's been playing really well.
That's brilliant, you know. It's a shame when
Like
people
I said,
have...
if he had the same drive, he'd be somewhere with his darts, man.
And is there future in darts or...
Oh yeah,
Really?
you should see the money in darts is absolutely ridiculous.
Really?
Yeah. Think what's the major tournament, which is the World Championship. If you win the World Championship, it's 500 grand for winning it.
500 grand?
$500,000 for winning.
Yo, that's
That doesn't include your sponsorship money from your sponsors.
That's just your competition.
That's just the competition winnings.
Yeah.
That's how big darts is. The runner-up, I think it's what, 250 or probably 300. I'm not too sure what the runner-up gets. But there's a lot of money in professional darts because it's only the PDC now. You used to get the BDO and then the PDC.
I'll sponsor you.
I'm nowhere near that good enough. I wouldn't. If someone went, I'll sponsor you to go pro, I would say no. I just like playing the pub leagues and that's it.
No, I'll sponsor you and then you do start practicing.
Yeah, I need a hell of a lot of time to get up to speed. Because you know what it is? It's not that I lack concentration. It's like I like to have like a quick 20-minute practice.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I only practice on days that I know I got a game. So like tonight I had a practice earlier with my new darts because I know I got a game tonight. So my arm's ready to go.
You don't have that darts.
No, I don't have dartitis.
Dartitis.
No, I just have dart angriness. I get so angry if I throw really bad. I don't really get too angry. I'll just get disappointed in myself because I know I'm better than I am.
Have you ever got so angry that you thought, you know what, one for the crowd, chuck a dart into the crowd, like you do in at the gym, chuck a dumbbell. Yeah, I'll catch. And it's a 50-kilo dumbbell.
Yeah. Oh, you mean the one I threw at Greg, my training partner? I have chucked my darts across the pub before, yeah. Not at anyone, but obviously, generally when the darts are around, it's just the two teams sitting around, and I played so well, and the guy played so poor. He somehow beat me. So I've thrown my darts across the pub more than once. I don't know how many times.
Quite often.
But I've lobbed my darts onto the table. Didn't realise. I didn't actually throw them that hard, but I just threw them. But because they bounce and because they take flight, they just flew across and missed someone.
Bloody hell, that's dangerous.
I said sorry. I was like, look, I just threw them on the table. I didn't expect them to take off. But I think I threw them a little bit harder than I thought. Then I actually realised I threw them. But I have dashed my darts across
tell me
pubs.
about your fitness. When did that come?
I'd say it was probably about 2015, 2016.
Oh, same time as around about mine, 2016.
Obviously, it was like it's just waking up one day realising, obviously, because working for Wetherspoons, eating crappy pub food, obviously not getting real, because I was playing 3 nights a week darts at the time, so I weren't really at home. You couldn't really cook food. Let's just say my brother's place weren't really a great house to be cooking food in. So there was a lot of takeaways
Just
involved.
a lad's place, yeah.
A lot of takeaways involved and stuff like that. So just ended up piling on so much weight. I think I'm probably was about 13 and a half, 14 stone when I first moved in with him.
Okay.
I was still quite a slender lad, and as soon as I moved in with him and I started working more and more hours in the pubs and stuff, as I become a manager as well, I just started piling on weight.
Really?
Really easily.
What's your heaviest you've ever been?
I think it was just shy of 21 stone. Obviously, I didn't look it.
21 stone, 5'6".
It was about 133 kilo, if I remember rightly.
Wow.
But I didn't look it. Obviously, you can look at me now. Obviously, you wouldn't believe I'm 104 kilo roughly. I look a bit smaller. So I hold weight good. It doesn't really blow out. Whereas like some people you'll see it completely sags out.
Yeah.
But mine was seemed to be really compact. You could tell I was fat, but you wouldn't think I was as
you
heavy
were like
as
a
I was.
stocky fat.
Yeah. You wouldn't think I was heavy as I was. But it's like my oldest brother Kieran, obviously, like I said, he was in the gyms at the time. It was actually at Emporium where he was training. And because I worked, I think it was Town at the time when I first started, at the Square Peg.
Okay.
Obviously, I woke up one morning, just looked in the mirror in the end, I was like, you know what? This has got to change.
It's not right.
Thing is, I was happy with my life, doing what I was doing, but I could barely walk up a flight of stairs without going... just out of breath. Wow. It was just like, this has got to change. And then looking at I don't like to say it, but looking at my brother as well, he's a big lad. But he's like 6'2", 6'3", and he's, we'll say fat, because I've tried changing him in the gym as well. While I was at Aesthetics, actually, and he lived at me where I live now.
Okay.
But spoke to my brother, he said, yeah, damn right. I've been waiting for this phone call. So he got me in there, started teaching me how to train and stuff. And within no time at all, because obviously, a lot of it's water weight and you're holding a lot of stuff. Yeah. So once you stop eating bad, I'm not going to lie, for the first few years of training, I weren't really on a diet, but because I was eating a little bit better than takeaways all the time, I dropped a lot of weight.
Yeah, at that time, at that weight, I
got from 21 to about just shy of 21 to 18. So that was 3 stone off already. And taking 3 stone off that already made you feel like a better man. So I think I'm about 16 stone at the moment. 16 stones to a lot of people still heavy. People look at you and go 16 stone, you're heavy, you're fat. But it's like far from the truth. Obviously, because I wear baggy clothes anyway. So I don't like to show what's underneath. Yeah. Obviously, because I'm still not at my goal where I need to be yet. I'm trying to get back to the more than 15 stone mark. If I go kilo, I'm trying to get between 90 and 95 kilo. So, yeah, that's about 10 kilo to shed at the moment. Ish. but I'm not in a rush to do it. I'm trying to do it slowly, but make sure everything looks right as I drop. Obviously, you get some people that just
you can do a crash
loose skin and all that stuff.
Yeah. You don't
I'm trying
want
to
that.
slowly drop it while the muscle builds and fills out.
Yeah.
Obviously,
because you can drop it.
You can drop it so rapid, it's unreal. It's like you look at the 6-week challenges.
Yeah,
you go so hard on the diet and stuff. But I like to enjoy life.
Yeah, exactly.
Obviously, I like to train. I like to keep my diet strictish. But you know, when it gets to the weekend, I like to enjoy my weekend. Obviously, because you think of what I do throughout the week. I'm working the gym all week. Some days I'm there, 6-12, finish, come back, train, and I'm working 6 till 10. But on Tuesday and Wednesday, I finish at 12. I have my afternoon to relax, do housework or whatever. Then I go to darts on the night, so I don't really get time to relax during the week. Mm-hmm. So on the weekend, I like to sit down, have a little.
That's why you're so eager to leave at on the weekends.
Oh yeah.
No, it's 4 o'clock and
get
that's
out. The Sunday's the worst one.
There's been certain times that I've been to the gym and it's like it closes at 4 o'clock and I've turned about 3 o'clock, 3:30. Right,
yeah,
right. How's it going? You all right? Yeah, you got half an hour. What? Can I just not stay? No. You get out. Or Sunday, turn up at 1 o'clock and it closes at 2, and you think, oh shit,
Fred's got to have me.
Now I understand why. I totally respect that.
You know what? It's a relaxing time, and obviously, because sometimes I do go over to my sister's, or I go down to football. What time do you
open the gym? 6 in the morning?
Not on a Saturday, Sunday.
No, like Monday to Friday.
Normal weeks, yes, 6 a.m.
Yeah, you gotta wake up at what, 5?
Well, 20 past 5. I don't live around the corner, so it's like 20 past 5. That gives me enough time to breakfast, shower, get changed, and then head round.
Yeah. So imagine doing that for 5 days.
Thing is, but I'm always prepared from the night before. So when I get home, I get home tonight, say about 11, half 11. Mm-hmm. So what I'll do is I'll have my last little bit of food that I need to have, and then I'll set up. Well, my bag's always set up anyway. My gym stuff's there. But anything I need to put out into my bag, I like put on the side, so I know as soon as I wake up in the morning, unzip it, throw what I need in, good to go.
What do you think of our gym?
Oh, I love aesthetics.
What do you think of the people that come here?
I love the place. You know what? When I first moved back around here, I was at the gym group in Sutton.
Okay, yeah.
You know what? The gyms are clean and tidy and all that stuff, but the
There's
equipment is so bad. It's so bad. And you know what? It's just full of young kids that gain that little bit, and the egos are just so much. It's just like, what the hell?
Yeah.
It's like, you don't see that in aesthetics. Because when you think about it, you walk into aesthetics, everyone's there for a goal.
Yeah.
And obviously, when I first walked in, obviously I never saw Wahid, AK or anybody. It was Big Brandon that was behind the counter at the time when I first walked in. Obviously, as soon as I walked in, obviously, he greeted you properly. Obviously, I spoke to him about the gym. He said, have a look around. As soon as I literally walked through the door, looked at the equipment, and as soon as I started spotting so many plate-loaded machines and the right style of machines for bodybuilding, I was like, I'm coming here. And I'd already been sold. I didn't even have to look at the gym. I'd already knew I was going to sign up.
Yeah.
As soon as I walked through the door, saw the equipment, I was like, I'm signing up here.
It's just nice. And it's not just the equipment. It's the soul of the gym.
Obviously, because that was on a Sunday when I went and had a look at it. It was quiet. So you didn't really see the soul of the gym then.
Yeah.
But obviously, I came in the next day on the Monday after I finished work, signed up there and just, even though I had headphones in, because the music weren't really my style, as you quite know.
Yeah.
Obviously, heavy metal fan, and they had like some sort of freaking dance or whatever the hell on. I can't train to that stuff. I don't like that stuff. So headphones were in, and I could just feel the difference in the gym atmosphere. No one was looking at you going, oh, who's this fat guy, or who's this. They all were looking, and obviously, Wahid noticed I was a new face. AK noticed I was a new face, because I think it was AK that was behind the desk at the time. He said, I've never, when I signed up, so AK signed me up. introduced himself, said, need anything, any spots, anything, come grab me and all that.
That's what you said to me as well, didn't
Yeah.
you? And then you made the biggest mistake of your life.
Yeah. I said, Nas, if you need a spot, give us a shout. So this is where I try hiding. Yeah, but obviously, it was just good because the gym was just brilliant. Obviously, it's not a big gym, and obviously when it gets busy, it's tough to get onto stuff.
But I think everyone kind of is quite.
But you know what it is? Because everyone pretty much knows each other in there.
Yeah, and you can jump in with people.
Jump in and go, yeah, come on, bro, come on, jump in. And then if you need a spot and you're jumping in with them, it's like straight away, there's encouragement there.
Yeah.
Obviously, everyone's motivating each other in that gym. Obviously, you know what's good now? So we've seen a lot of young kids coming in as well.
I have noticed that.
A lot of young kids, and you know what? What's good is a lot of young kids now, if they're training, they can build a bit of an ego, in my opinion. Mm-hmm. But their ego's checked at the door because they're coming to see what the gym is. Yeah, and obviously, these are young kids just starting off trying to get fit, but they see all these lads in there. That's some big lads in aesthetics.
Thank you, bro. Yeah, carry on.
Well, thingy, I've seen you at your peak, and you are one of the big lads. But you at your peak you look good fully at your peak. You look good. If you've seen his Instagram, you know what I'm talking about. Mm-hmm. Because I was there helping you out. What was your nickname? The Shaven Wookie. What a dumb joke.
You're not supposed to say that.
The Shaven Wookie. I had to get that in.
That is wrong. We are gonna not release this episode ever.
Yeah, just cut that little bit.
Because the thing is, I don't cut anything out from my episodes. So it's either we air this or we don't air it, and that's it.
It's gotta be aired, then, so we were talking about you, and the name popped up in my head. I had to say it.
It's okay. You may continue.
Yeah, but like I said, if anyone's seen you at your peak, what you look like to what you look like when you were fully there, mate, it's such a change in you.
Yeah,
completely. So I love seeing in that gym, man, the transformations of some of the people in there. It's unreal.
The absolute.
From people like Big Mo, who came from the big size that he wasn't. Look at him now.
I know.
You can see what Scott used to be. Scott Swench, Troy, Fia.
Everyone's just...
Even Wahid.
But you know who's the most impressive, long-term impressive?
Let's go. What do you think?
Tiger.
Oh, yeah. Jordan.
Absolutely fantastic.
Vanilla Pappy as well.
Oh, my days. He showed me his...
Yeah. Did you see what he used to look like?
Now I remember when I first came, he was like that.
Yeah.
Because... I totally forgot what he looked like.
The size of him. He was massive.
I totally forgot what he looked like. And he says to me, last week I think, he goes, remember when I used to be big? I was nah.
When he posted it on his Instagram, I thought, that's where I know his face from.
Yeah, but I had already seen him like 4 years when I first started. He was like that. And when I saw that picture, I was like, shit, is that you?
The only reason why you know it's him is because of the tattoos.
Yeah.
It's the only reason why you'd know it's him. I mentioned I lived up on Bristol Road before I come back down this way. I thought I kept recognising Jordan. Obviously, thinking when I got to a Texas, I saw him. Like,
yeah.
Hang on. I recognise that guy's face. But where I used to live, the shop next door, he got on with the owners there and was quite regularly there at that shop. And then when I was cycling back from work one day when I worked at Kings Norton, back to Erdington, big cycle. And then I popped into that shop to say hello because it was on my route home, because I took a different route and stayed off the canal because it was raining a little bit. So I thought, I'm not going to go on the canal, I'm going to go on the road. So I popped to that shop to say hello. And Jordan was there. And then it sort of clicked a couple of months later. I was like, hang on. Because he was training, so he brought in a new client who worked at that shop, and I was like, now this is where I know his face from, that shop. Because that day I thought maybe by chance he was just there, but then it clicked when he got on so well with the owners.
I could not believe the fact that I had seen him
Timon's
4 years, 4 or 5 years ago.
Ty's transformation, Timon.
Yeah.
his transformation's like mine in a sense. Yes, he's dropped I don't know what he weighed to begin with, but he's dropped a hell of a lot of weight as well.
I know.
But even you see the geezers that have bulked up as well, from pencils to being these big guys, and it's like people say it's hard to lose weight or gain weight. Yes, it's hard. It is. You can't lie about it. It is hard to do because you know what? Because it tests you physically, mentally,
fully. It goes to show what kind of man you are. Or
it pushes your body to the limits. I mean, I've seen women that are transformed from one thing to another. And
I'm
tell
trying
you
to
what,
get Sue on, you know.
Sue.
Yeah.
Sue's a different story. Sue's and what she's been through as well.
Yeah,
Sue would be an interesting one.
Yeah, don't tell me because I don't know what she's been through, but I've just seen her transformation.
Yeah, Sue.
Amazing. I'm trying to arrange that.
Yeah, Sue would be a good episode to have.
Yeah.
Sue, you see her transformations and everything, man. Sue's brilliant.
Yeah, she's proper clockwork.
She's got
you know,
proper inspirational to her as well. She's always lively, bubbly as well. Yeah. So she's a great woman to have around the gym.
Lovely, yeah, definitely. So tell me, I was going to ask you a question now, I forgot. Would you ever become a coach? A professional coach or somebody you can PT with?
In a sense, I kind of am going into that.
Okay.
Obviously, because with Wahid, he's putting me with his clients and getting me to train his clients and all that stuff. And I have actually took on one of my own.
Oh, nice.
But it's been a few issues. She's had a back injury and stuff. And then she's got to move gym because she lost her job. So, unfortunately, got to be losing her. But I probably will get her back eventually. But I am working into that field at the moment. Obviously, with Wahid's help, it put me through everything I need to know. So I am actually reaching out into that at the moment.
Oh, brilliant. And if somebody wants to get coached by you,
pop into Aesthetics and have a chat. That's all I can say. Pop into Aesthetics, have a chat.
Can they reach you on your...
Freddie Naylor on Instagram.
Not Mark Naylor.
No. Don't look at Mark because you will find a Mark Naylor on there. And it is me, but I don't answer it. So don't look for Mark, look for Freddie.
Yeah, so it's Freddie Naylor, yeah?
Yeah.
So, and roughly how much do you charge or what is it like?
Obviously, I've not actually got into that side of it yet, obviously, but I am looking at doing it. So if anyone wanted it, we can work out reasonable prices for them and then figure out where to go.
Nice. And
I will say, with the girl I have took on, one of her previous coaches was charging, I think it was $240 a month, and I dropped it to 200 for her, just because obviously being first client. I
think I've seen you with your client. I think I have a couple of times.
You probably have.
Yeah.
It's normally on the weekends I train her.
Yes,
Wednesday,
that's the one. She wanted
Friday
to do the podcast.
And Sunday.
We were talking about the podcast, and she was like, "Yeah, and me." Was it that one? I think it's her.
May have been a. I think it was actually.
I think yeah, because I've seen you train a girl a few times. It must be her then.
Yeah, obviously, but she had a few issues with a little bit of a problem with her back, so she had to take time off, and then obviously, I wasn't very well for a couple of weeks, so I kind of. There's a month gone by where, luckily enough, the first 2 weeks of the month that went by that I haven't trained her in was she was ill and I was ill, so it kind of worked out in a sense.
To this date? What's your best memory of this gym?
Of Aesthetics?
Yeah, to this date. Your best memory and your worst memory.
Come back on the worst one because I don't think I've got one. Worst memory. I've got that when I dropped a 15 kilo plate off the leg press onto my foot and broke my fucking toes. My nail's still not right from that, My nail still looks mangled.
Oh, 15 kilos. You dropped
and I wasn't even
toe.
training. I was tidying up.
Wow, that must have hurt.
I think my best memory is not some. It's not so
you know
much.
What I'm gonna do? I'm gonna get you some steel toe
Yeah.
I think you need them, you know.
No, I've only ever dropped one plate.
Doesn't matter, bro.
No, I think best memory, and it's more the fact of the faith that was put in me by Wahid. Obviously, because I mentioned I was missing for 2 months.
Yeah.
Wahid started that. I disappeared for 2 months. So he actually asked me why while I was training. So I explained to him that I lost my job and everything, couldn't afford the membership and all that. And he gave me that chance to start working for him on the weekends. And obviously that progressed, and it's become a real big family relationship with Wahid, where he's not a boss, he's not a friend, he's more like a brother now. Because he's put so much faith in me to run that gym, to do stuff for him, to train his clients.
It's amazing.
It's got to go on memories. It's just like, he's done so much for me personally that I will always remember what he's actually done for me. So even if I was to move on to something else or move away, I'd always come back and keep in contact with Wahid.
Oh, yeah,
people like you, AK.
Definitely,
the Swench gang.
That's his character, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's very nice.
I mean, to him, to most people, I'm just a nobody that's in the gym. I disappear for a couple of months, I come back and start training. Most gym people are just not going to pay attention.
Yeah.
But Wahid actually spotted it and noticed I disappeared. And for someone to actually notice when someone goes missing and then comes back and actually ask what's happened, and then put their actual faith in you to give you a job, give you a chance. And from where the thing is, the drive and everything he puts into me is like, the motivation he's put into me recently. Obviously, I've had my issues, I've been ill, and the motivation he's put into me to keep my training going, pushing me through training. Obviously, alongside my partner Greg, who's been pushing me as well to keep myself going. Not my partner, but my training partner. Get that right, training partner.
I was going to,
not partner. Don't. Yeah, but
I was going to come to that.
Yeah, he's put so much faith in me on that scale. Obviously, I just I'm not a kid. I'm older than Wahid, but I'm just a lad from the gym that he didn't have to put faith in.
Yeah, of course,
but he did.
Yeah.
And so, always try and repay that faith by making sure that gym's always kept up to where it needs to be.
Definitely. Now he's doing the next door as well, isn't he? That's going to be interesting. You know, I haven't been in there.
You're going to see Fred sprinting across the car park a lot. Shoom, shoom.
Fred, in here. Fred, in here. Then you'll see.
And then I hear Nasa from the corner. Fred, I need a spot. I'm in the other gym.
Hurry up. I'll wait.
That's what everyone says. I'll wait for you, Fred. You know what it is? I think people put more trust in me to spot because I'm constantly spotting people.
No. It's not even that. I personally feel, this is my personal thing now, yeah? I personally think you spot good because you don't go too much. You know, some guys are just too much.
Thing is, if you've noticed with me the way I spot you, my hands are always there at a distance you've got to go. Yeah. And I always slap, when you start struggling at first, I start slapping the back of your triceps to give you that perk of get the weight up.
Yeah, rather than
and
just
then as soon as I see that moment where you're struggling, that's where I start easing a little bit. And then if I have to, I use more to get you through it.
And I really like that. I think that's perfect.
Obviously, where he did put me through a lot of spot people like this. Obviously, he's mentioned it with you when I was spotting you the once. So I don't spot him until he's physically dying and about to drop the weight on himself.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
Obviously,
see, it's these little things that
my older
make
brother
a big
taught me
difference.
how to spot from back in the day, spotting him properly. And obviously the way he spotted me, so you pick up a lot of it. So you look around the gym at the way some people are spotting, it's like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
It's when they're spotting on bench press and they're holding the bar all the way. No, if the guy says, look, stay with me, get your hands underneath, follow the bar down, don't touch it, follow it down so far, and if you can't get it up, you're already there to bang.
Exactly.
You don't need to be holding the bar like that. all the
I
way.
feel safer when there's somebody just standing there, even if I know I can do.
Like
10.
I was today when you were
Yeah.
doing what was it, 42s. You start when
Yeah.
I first came over.
Yeah.
You were standing there normally. I was just
Last
keeping an
two, I
eye on you,
think
and the
the
last
last
two, I
three.
jump in, bang, help you get them up.
Yeah.
But that's where that's where he's. We all say obviously that's where your reps count the most. Is them last two when you start struggling, because it's more.
That's
It's a
when
proper
you're-
work. That's your
yeah.
proper work.
Yeah. But yeah, it's been Fred. You know what? It's been great, and we could sit here all night.
Oh
bro.
yeah,
can see how all
definitely,
night.
definitely sit here all night just laughing away. And
Cussing each other, calling each other names. You know, and now I can't even edit that bit out.
that's
You
the
know,
highlight. That
you-
is.
you-
That's the highlight. That is.
You caught me off guard on that. You know,
That's exactly.
You caught me off guard, man. That's
Well, I've
not
called
nice.
it you before, so to be honest, you're not the only one I've called that. I call it Greg when he shaves.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm not the only one. Oh, I feel
Yeah.
so much better now.
You're not the only one.
I feel better. So,
And then again,
thought
I
was
normally
the
call Greg a hobbit because of his height, to be fair.
He's shorter than you as well, isn't he?
Yeah,
Oh,
Greg's
bloody
shorter
hell.
than me.
Sorry, Greg.
And
We'll
I'm
get him a
not-
high chew when he comes and does a.
Yeah, we'll have to get Greg on here with us as well.
We
out
definitely
his story.
we'll get him on there and Ty. We'll do something all together. It's gonna be good. But Fred, thank you very much for your time.
It's a pleasure.
It's been. I've learnt about you and
About rugby as well.
And, yeah.
Oh, yeah,
I
you
know what a try is now. You know, but the main thing is, you know, you've come from being bullied, from struggling, and then you're here. You know, that journey in itself is motivational.
Thing
and
is, I've always said, look on the past. See, obviously, you see where you get what you've done wrong in the past, where you know you could have done better. Don't let it worry you. Just make the rest of your life better.
Yeah.
The past is the past. You can't change the past,
That's
but
it.
you can mould your future.
Definitely.
So don't worry about the past. It has happened. Mould what you're going to become now.
Yeah, because a lot of people stay there.
Yeah.
They stay in their
Stay
past.
stuck in the past.
Yeah, oh, this is what's happened to me. That's what's happened to me in the past. I've been through that. No. Yes, we know you've been through that. We know that this is what's happened now. Give me one solution that you can change that.
Yeah.
You can't.
You can't. If anyone said, I wish I could change this, I wish I could change this, how are you going to change it?
You can't.
Time travel hasn't been invented. You can't go back and change that.
Exactly.
So instead of dwelling on the past, mould your future into something you can be proud of. So when you look back, once your future's been moulded and you're proud of what you've done, then when that becomes past, you look back on that, you're going to go, wow, I've actually done something.
Exactly. And then when you look even further back,
You're going to go,
what you come
that's
from,
where I was.
Yeah.
This is where I am.
It's all in the mindset. You know, so when you change your mindset, you change your life.
Obviously, I've come from being stuck in like kitchens and stuff, and I've got freedom now. It's not so much freedom. Obviously, I'm doing a job working at the gym, training people for Wahid, but
it's still
I feel like there's
freedom.
that bit of freedom.
Yeah.
Because this has been my choice
It's that mental
to
freedom.
go there to do this. It's like I get people go, "Oh, you work 7 days a week." It's like, yeah, but I'm doing the same amount of hours. You'd cram into 5 days in a normal job. So mine's
plus-
space.
but the
and I've got
question
time
is-
to relax.
The questions for them: do you enjoy it? 90% will say nah.
I love what I do.
And you, on the
I
other hand,
generally
even
love
if you
being
did
in-
100 hours a week, you would
I
enjoy
love being
it.
in that gym. You know what it is? Because it's just the characters. The
Yeah.
characters and the atmosphere. It's what gets me out of my bed at 5 a.m.
Yeah.
Knowing the clients, all the clients that me and Wahid train after it, always so respectful and always saying thank you for the session and all that stuff. So just to know you're making someone's day, you're sculpting them into what they want to be.
Yeah.
It's like a big achievement for you.
It's priceless, isn't it?
Yeah.
Knowing
'Cause
that you were part of that journey.
You see the transformations these lads have made, you think you've had a part in that.
Yeah.
And it's like, you're making their life better, which makes your life better, in a sense.
100%. 100%. Every coach says that. There's no, you can't put a price to that. You know, when you see someone's life change.
You see the happy side of the coaches when people succeed, they do what they want. But there's also the downside of it as well. When people don't succeed, you put all your time and effort into giving these people the diet plans, the workouts, coach them, and then they just don't stick to it. It's like, then you see that, it affects you. It makes you feel like you failed. But then you also got to think of the amount of people that have followed you, have followed your directions, and that's your success. It's not.
It's never 100% success.
Wahid said, you know what? It's not about the money.
Yeah.
It's about seeing people smile, people overcome the barriers in life that they've stuck up for themselves.
I've done about 20, 25 episodes of this now, right? And I've had a lot of PTs come. And every single PT has said
it's not about the money. It's about seeing the smiles on people's faces. It's about changing
lives
and seeing the smile, seeing that frown turn into a smile. Yeah. Something they can be so happy about.
That's it. That's the main thing.
That's what PTing's about. It's not about money. It's about saving lives, basically. In a sense, it's about saving lives. Because you think some of these people that, it doesn't matter what form or shape they're from, they're probably depressed, anxiety, everything about the way they look. I know, because I've been through it with the way I look when I was 20 odd stone. And it's like, you do suffer with it. So you think of how much better you're making their mental health as well. The gym, yes, it's a big fitness thing, but I think you'd agree, it's also great for mental health.
Of course.
It's
I don't come gym
for mental health.
For 2-3 days, bro. I just start going mad.
Yeah, because you let out a lot of your tension, a lot of your frustrations, just lift it. It doesn't matter what you lift either, but just being in the gym, training, you let out frustrations.
Yep, 100%. That's the place. That's why when people come and they while they're training, they shout and scream while they're training.
Yeah,
I love that, man. I love to see that. I love to hear that. That's
like a guest of yours that you've had recently.
Like, you know that person
constantly egging himself, screaming at himself.
You know that person is working hard on something.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Could
if
be their mental health.
If someone's there and they're lifting heavy, and you hear that and screaming at themselves, you know they're in that moment. They're stuck in their head. They're in that moment. They're letting out frustrations. They're going for it.
Nothing better than that.
That's what gym's about, man. It's what gym's about.
Yeah. But unfortunately, some of the gyms that you can't do that stuff, and I don't understand.
The gym group, you can't freaking even squat a freaking full bar. I got told off for doing that. Generally got told off in a gym group for having too much weight on a bar. Didn't know there was such a thing.
Wow. They're probably using cheap bars, bro. That's why.
The bar was bending. But one PT tried to tell me off. The other PT was fucking congratulating me.
So you didn't know what to do?
It's like, what the hell? It's just like, I was like, you know what? That's why I went looking for another gym. I thought, I can't deal with it here.
No.
The plates didn't even feel the right weight for starters in the gym group. But that's why I moved. It's just like, I had to. I needed a gym where I knew I could lift as heavy as I could, and no one's going to tell me that's too much.
Yep. Well, that's what it is, isn't it?
In fact, every time I go heavier, I got freaking AK and Wahid behind me egging me on to go heavier than what I'm going.
Brilliant.
But that's what gym's about. The motivation to push you past your barriers.
Yeah, 100%.
Obviously, before aesthetics, I would never have dreamt of lifting a 60 kilo dumbbells on chest.
Mad.
They've been conquered.
Mad.
I haven't done them again since, I know I've got them in my locker.
The thing is, you don't need to. You don't need to do that 60 all the time. But you know you've done it.
I know I've done it. I think it's on my Instagram, to be fair. It actually is on my Instagram.
I'd slap it everywhere if I did that.
Instagram's good enough. I've been seeing a fair bit.
Fred, thank you very much for your time.
It's been a pleasure.
It's been an absolute wicked conversation. We'll definitely do another episode.
Oh yeah.
And you're a resident here, so anytime, man. We'll
I'm always around.
We'll do another one. But thank you very much for this time. I hope someone out there listening, watching, sees and understands where threads come from. And there's always a change to be made for the better. And nothing is impossible. If you are going through any kind of problems in life, come and see Fred.
There's always this. Doesn't matter what you're going through. There's always a silver lining. There's always a way to work through what you're going through.
Yeah, that's it.
It doesn't matter where you come from, what background. There's always a work through.
Definitely.
It's just about finding it and fighting through it.
You just gotta get the habit, get a routine, and I have never in any of these episodes heard from someone that, you know what, it was a waste of time. Somebody who's gone through mental health. There's people on the show have been suicidal, and they've took on fitness, and even those people have not said that, you know what, it was a waste of time.
Obviously, there's one part that we did leave out. We did actually mention we were going to talk about it, but we've actually not gone there. We've stayed more on the fitness journey. But obviously, you've just reminded me, obviously, with, you know, you mentioning the suicidal part.
Yeah.
When I ended up in prison, that thought went through my head while I was in prison. And obviously, I was on a dark place back then, drinking, smoking normal cigarettes, but obviously drinking and getting into a lot of trouble. And I ended up in prison. And that thought came into my head because a lot of things were going through my head at the time. It's like, while I'm here, I did not want to be in that sort of predicament. Yeah. But life was on a proper downward spiral then for me. So I was homeless for a little bit. Obviously, ended up I got a flat eventually. This is where, if you've ever heard Wahid say I lived in Balsall Heath, this is where this has come from, because I ended up living in Balsall Heath. One thing saved me in prison and got me through it was actually a letter from my nan, which I wish I knew where I put or where it was. It was a letter of love for me, but also disappointment. That letter changed my life. Because if I probably, you know, say sometimes prison doesn't reform people, but that letter saved me while I was inside.
Do you still remember what it says on that letter?
I can't remember it word for word.
Roughly.
In a sense, it was just like, because she knew what I was going through with all the troubles with the drinking and all that stuff. So it was disappointment about my drinking. Obviously, from the way I was as a kid, obviously, such a polite kid, how I could turn around and do what I did. Obviously, under the influence of alcohol, the way I turned to booze and all that stuff. And then, but at the end, it was just stuff saying, you're still my grandson, I still love you, I'm still here for you. When you get out, come down, see me, and we can have a good talk and get you back onto where you should be. In essence of what the letter was about. But that's that. You know what? Through all the stuff that I've been through in my life, that hurt the most. Obviously, because I got raised by my nan from the age of like 10, so that hurt the most. Yeah,
that sense of disappointed.
It was disappointment
for her.
Love. Yeah, it was disappointment, but there was still love there.
Encouraging at the same time that, you know what, I'm still here.
Yeah. Obviously, so that's why when you were just on about the suicidal thing, that reminded me, because when I first went inside, that's how I felt. And it was like, never attempted, but that's how I felt.
You thought about it?
Yeah. Because them things go through your head when you realise what people you're around in prison. And you're like, this is not me. And then your depression and stuff hits and you're just like, I can't get out of this. Fortunately enough, yes, it is possible to commit suicide in prison. You see it quite a lot. But there was nothing around me to even put that notion in my head of how am I going to do this or anything. So that was lucky. And then a couple of days later, that letter came through to the prison. And then, you know what I thought? Just got to get through these months, get out, and then change.
Definitely, man. And you made that.
So it's literally, no matter what you've been through in life, there is always a silver lining. Always a silver lining. And there's always a way around. There's always people there willing to help you. It might not be family. It could be your local PT at the gym. It could be your doctor. It could be a random stranger that helps you. Someone just to talk to. That's all it comes down to. If you're going through mental health issues, you feel low, find someone to talk to. Someone that you know is going to listen and you know is going to hear you out, because that's all it comes down to.
Mad.
Everyone just needs that shoulder to vent on.
That's it.
And to help them.
Definitely, bro.
Can't believe we forgot about that bit.
I know.
We mentioned that specifically earlier as well.
I know. Your story from martial arts, from bullying to martial arts to rugby to darts to fitness.
The prison slotted in between rugby and all that stuff. Well, no, because I played rugby. It was just that not long after. I can't remember how long after. Bullying, college, rugby, and my martial arts.
Yeah.
Well, it was martial arts and bullying were combined in a sense because it was school.
Yeah.
And I went into college, was playing a bit of rugby. It was about
after that
19 when I went down, so
yeah, after college then.
And then after college, and then carried on through that. Got out, started working and all that stuff, and then started playing darts about 2013-ish, yeah. So,
well, it's been a roller coaster for you, hasn't it?
It's. I wouldn't say it's been an easy life, but it's been an interesting one. Obviously, I'm not quite 36 yet. Will be soon, but life's still taking shape for me.
Yeah, man. You got plenty of time. You're still a babby, as they say.
Yeah, that means you're still a babby as well.
You don't even have full hair yet.
Huh?
So you don't even have a full head of hair yet.
Mate, I lost that. I had a full head. That's gone. At the age of 30, that thing said, "Sigh, bloody Nara, mate." I'm gone.
But yeah, man, it's been a pleasure. It's been wicked having you, Fred. And we'll definitely do another podcast, man. Definitely do another one.
Absolute pleasure.
But wicked, man. Hope
next time
all the best for you in life, man.
Next time, come with a topic. Me and T, come with a topic.
Yeah, we'll do some.
And we'll have a good.
Definitely
have a good think about a good topic for me and T.
Yeah, man.
And then we'll get on it.
Definitely.
Probably do it on a Sunday. Close the gym at 2.
Fine.
Me,
anytime.
you, and T all come over. Do it on a Sunday.
Anytime. I'll catch you later then, my bro.
Not a problem.
Thank you very much for your time once again. And God bless you. You had a roller coaster. There's definitely plus points in your story which people can listen to, pick up on, and get yourself down to the gym, or even not even a gym, just some kind of fitness, get a routine and come out. If you're suffering from anxiety, mental health, any kind of issues, get yourself a routine.
I think
find someone and then just crack on with life, man. Life's got lots of things to offer.
The most important message I can give to anyone suffering from any of that is you're not alone.
Yeah.
You're not alone in it. More than you think go through that. So you're not alone. That's the most important thing I could say.
You've got to speak up about it.
You've got to talk and find someone, because no one's ever alone in anything.
Yeah, 100%. Well, thank you, Fred.
It's been a pleasure.
And I'll see you soon.
Tomorrow in the gym.
Yeah.
Of course.